Hello, lovely people. I thought I'd do a quick video this week. I'm hoping to do a few more of these kind of ones where they're hopefully less slick and take less time to do, but are just a bit of a conversation. So about music or retro gaming or any of those other nerdy obsessions of mine. Today, I thought I'd just quickly take you through what solo Beatles records I've got so far. There's so many solo Beatles albums I want to get, but the price of vinyl has gone up so much recently that I just can't afford to get any more. Woe is me. But first world problems. But yeah, hopefully in time I'll be able to pick up some of my more favourites. So I'll talk through some of the solo Beatles albums that I'd really like to get as we go along as well. Starting off with George Harrison. And first and foremost, I really want to get a good copy of All Things Must Pass. Again, ridiculously expensive at the moment. Loads of different special editions and things that are like hundreds of pounds. So won't be getting that anytime soon. But if I'm lucky enough to come across one in my travels that's a reasonable price, I'll definitely pick it up because it is one of my all-time favorite albums. But yeah, the follow-up to All Things Must Pass, the Material World, and yeah, absolutely love this album. Fantastic album. If you've not listened to it, definitely check it out. I think my favorite song on it is probably Be Here Now, but there's so many great tracks on it. Yeah, I'm going to forget every single song, aren't I, as I do this? It's that red light syndrome. As soon as the record button goes on, I lose all my faculties. But yeah, having a look, yeah, you've got things like Give Me Love, Give Me Peace on Earth, Sue Me, Sue You Blues, which is hilarious. Bit of acerbic George wit on that one. Yeah, the title track is amazing as well. So yeah, that's a definite must for any Beatles fan. George Harrison, Living in the Material World. And then a much underrated one, in my opinion, Gone Troppo. A lot of people say this is more of a lightweight George album. All I'll say about it is that it makes me smile. Every single song on this album makes me smile, and I always have a good time with it. I love this album. I think I was first introduced to it because I'm a big fan of Time Bandits, and the song "Dream Away" is on the credits of that great film. But yeah, every single song on here, pretty much. Certainly the first side, "Wake Up My Love," that's the way it goes. "I Really Love You," "Gone Troppo." I really always have a great time with this album. So that's "Gone Troppo." And then last for George, another bona fide classic. I need to work out how to do this properly. Another bona fide classic, Cloud Nine, his kind of rebirth, his resurgence in the late 80s with a bit of help from his friend Jeff Lynne. Yeah, so many songs I love on this album. I love the title track. I love That's What It Takes, Fish on the Sand. I could just go through every single track probably on this album and say how much I love it. I think my favourite would probably be When We Were Fab is great. I think Someplace Else is a song that always gets the heartstrings going. Do love that. So that's my Harrison so far. Other Harrison, there aren't that many Harrison albums, so I'd love to get them all eventually. I definitely want to get All Things Must Pass and Brainwashed as well. His last album is one of my favourites of his. But any George Harrison album, if I see it out in the wild for a reasonable price, I'm going to pick it up because I don't think he's got a bad album. I struggled a little bit with, is it Dark Horse? That's probably his worst, I would say, album, but still has plenty of great tracks on it, so that you can't really go wrong with a George Harrison album. Right, on to John Lennon next, and I've only got one, which is probably my favourite, along with his debut, joint favourite maybe. It's John Lennon's Imagine, classic album. And what, again, any song I could pick off here to be my favourite. Oh My Love is probably my favourite song on here, but yeah, I wouldn't argue with anyone who said any of the songs on here being their favourites. So it's just an absolute classic album that I think every collector needs to have in their collection if they can. Other John Lennon albums that I'd really love to get: the debut, definitely the Plastic Ono Band. What other ones I'd like to get? Mind Games would be great. Again, most of them really. I think the only one that I really struggle with is probably Sometime in New York, is it called? I didn't think that was up to his usual abilities, but yeah, I mean, you know, it's John. It's going to be good, whatever. And then we're into the person that I've got the most records for, I'd say, but still so many that I want to get. It's Macca, Paul McCartney. I have McCartney 1, original copy. Yeah, wasn't sure about that. Like many listeners, I wasn't sure about this when I first heard it, and over the years, it's grown to be top 3 of my favourite McCartney albums. I think it was just so different from what the Beatles had been doing, and I think that's a good thing. Really, he was trying different things, a bit like Paul Simon when he left Simon and Garfunkel. He went in a similar direction of this stripped back, do it yourself kind of album. I love this of him and his daughter there. But yeah, so many great songs on here. I really like Every Night, and Junk, I think, is one of my all-time favourite Paul McCartney songs. He is the master of melody, and I think that song proves it, even though it was a bit of a experiment. I think John said, can you write a song about anything? And he gave it, he wrote a song about junk, and it's one of the most beautiful melodies you'll ever hear. Then a one that's I've loved for years and I'm glad to see getting a bit of a reprisal amongst fans. It's Ram. Some people say this kicked off indie rock, actually. Again, a little bit homegrown, homemade. Love the vocals, the harmonies by Linda on this one, and I love the continued sort of experimentation that he does, which at the time sort of divided fans, but has since been seen as what it is, incredible creativity going on at the time. And there's the back of it. Sorry, I'm kind of in mirror, so I'm struggling with this, but yeah, check that out. Two Beatles. Yeah, I do think that's quite funny what he was trying to say with that photo. And yeah, great. I love this era of McCartney where he's in kind of married bliss in the Scottish Highlands. And favourite track on Ram, I do love Too Many People, the opening track. Oh, here's another thing that I love about original records. Where is it? Can you see that? It says, to Ken, lots of love from your girlfriend Pip. So if you're out there, Ken or Pip, and from 1972, isn't that cool? You wouldn't get that on any other format. I love that. So yeah, Too Many People. Uncle Albert is a fun tune. I love Ram On, actually. I was trying to learn that on the ukulele. That's a great song as well. This is probably all completely out of focus. I do apologise. And then into the Wings. I do have the Wings Wildlife. Can't find it for the life of me. I don't know where I've put that. Not the best album, but I appreciate the experimentation on it, and I think my favourite song on it is "Dear Friend," which is obviously to John Lennon trying to quash the arguments they were having back and forth, the bitterness back and forth they were having on their records at the time, which is just such a Paul move, really, to try and quell that and quash that and make things better. I'm glad they made up before John sadly passed away. And then, yeah, this one, Venus and Mars. Really good album. I think this one and the other one I'm going to show you get a little bit overlooked because of how big Band on the Run was, which came in between them. But Yeah, Venus and Mars is one of my favorite Macca albums. Absolutely love this. You've got is this the one with Rock Show on? Yeah, Venus and Mars, Rock Show. Uh, yeah, it's just a really fun. Call Me Back Again is a bit of a sort of Motown type tune. Um, yeah, this is a really really good album. I love the title track as well. There's like two versions of it. There's the opening version, and then there's like a reprise later on. Love them both. Yeah, like that cover as well actually. So that's an original. And then lastly for Macca, I have Red Rose Speedway, which was the other one that bookended um, the biggest success with Wings, Band on the Run. But yeah, Red Rose Speedway is another really underrated one, I think. A really, really good album. Is it Little Lamb Dragonfly on this one? That is one of my favourites. Again, absolute master of melody on this one. Yeah, really like this. Really good album, and I like all the kind of cutouts you get on it as well. That's really cool. I haven't cut them out, but yeah, there's like there's a book inside as well with some brilliant artwork in it. I'll show it another time when I'm less clumsy. But yeah, other Macca albums, so many I want to get that I don't have. Band on the Run, I have to have that one. But also, I'd love to get some of his later ones on record. I would love Flaming Pie. That's one of my top 3 Macca albums. I'd love, love, love that one. Chaos and Creation in the Backyard, I'd love to get a copy of. What else would I like a copy of? There's loads. He's done so many. But yeah, so many great albums. Macca. And then last, but by no means least, Mr. Starr. I only have one for him. He did do some amazing albums, believe it or not. I know a lot of people who are casual fans may think that Ringo Starr didn't have any great songs of his own when he went solo. He certainly did, and many of them are on this one, which is his I think the 3rd album, I think. He did one like jazz standards album, which I actually really like and would like to get a copy of. Sentimental Journey, I think it's called. He did like a country record, and then he did, I think this was the 3rd one, which had a lot of his friends on, including all 3 of the Beatles. Only Ringo could manage to bring them all together when they were not even talking to each other. That's how much they all loved Ringo. And this is actually a really, really good album. Yes, it is, honest. I love Photograph and say Sunshine Live for Me, which are both co-written with George Harrison. I think my favourite Ringo tracks from the early days are the ones that are co-written by George. But there's also I'm the Greatest, which is co-written by Lennon. Not his best song, but it's okay. And what's the one with Paul? 6 o'clock, is it? Yeah, 6 o'clock. Yeah. So yeah, definitely worth picking up. If you wanted to get a Ringo Starr album, you can't go wrong with Ringo. This one is 3rd one. Other Ringo Starr albums I would like to get. I would definitely like to get Goodnight Vienna, which is was the one that came after Ringo. I'd love to get that one. And there's a couple of other ones as well. Is it Time Takes Time? I'd like to get as well from the 90s. Yeah, I went through all of the solo Beatles albums a while back as a bit of a challenge, and was surprised. There are some great Ringo Starr albums out there, but there's also some terrible ones as well, as you can imagine. But yeah, so that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed looking through my solo Beatles collection. If there's any other collections that you'd like me to talk through, or any other albums you'd like me to share, then do let me know in the comments below. And also let me know what are your favourite solo Beatles albums and which ones should I definitely check out in the future. All right, that's it for now. Have a great day, and as always, thanks for watching and take care.